All right, guys, here we are to react to the trailer for the movie A Wrinkle in Time.
Now, this is your favorite thing.
Not my favorite thing.
Okay. No, you like Cloud with a Chance of Meatballs.
No,
Isn't that your thing?
no.
Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Bedknobs and Broomsticks,
Yeah.
that's my jam.
Is Wrinkle in Time next to those? It's in my head, it's like next to those.
Eh,
I see Disney here. This is like a kid's thing, right? What is
it's
this?
yeah,
Is it a
it's
book?
owned
I
by
don't
Disney.
read.
This was books. This was a movie in the what would that be? The 90s.
Okay. So you are aware of it.
Oh yeah,
So what's your favorite thing?
that was my favorite thing.
Okay.
Well, let's just check it out.
Do you know anything about it?
Unicorn riding
Oh.
it, going through time, something.
Right, you ride the unicorn through time. You find a wrinkle and just straight through.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Pinch that
check it out. I'm into this.
On paper, this has everything that should be good. It's
Yeah.
got an all-star cast, got a huge budget. Obviously, it has the Disney money. Made off a famous book. All those things should be good. And while I enjoy most of these actors and the concept itself, something about this just screams hot garbage to me. I don't know.
This is like Tomorrowland. This is like a bunch of other stuff.
Sure.
That I was definitely I'm into this for the same reason I was into a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that thing with Zoe Deschanel where it's like Tin Man. What is it? Tin Man?
Yeah, Tin Man.
One of those things. Like it's surreal. Like what was that one? Cloud Atlas or the other Golden Compass? There's a bunch of
Those
stuff.
are all things?
Yeah. Well, okay. So like I have categories in my brain about things, right?
Sure.
And that's what this sort of is to me. It's like a fantastical adventure. It blurs the lines between like crazy technology and weird fantasy and like magic and like dimensions and things are happening. And there's ladies in different dresses and then there's like squids floating through space and weird caves and then you have to go answer a riddle and a dude has eyes and then it's a weird thing. Are they robots? Are they fucking what? I don't know what's going on, right? I like that stuff on paper. I think inevitably they come out and people go, that wasn't that good. And I feel like
I get that opinion on
that's
it.
what we are destined for here. So I do see what you're saying or whatever.
It appears to have like it's crisp, it's visually like very on point.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh man, the colors, it's cool, like the effects, great, but I'm not attached to any of the characters. And then the characters that like you should be attached to, like the ones that are famous that you know going into this, I'm like, well, they've like heavily make-up them in a way where I'm like, you've almost made this look like a cheesy movie, like. It's a little too on the nose for me with some of this stuff where I'm like, oh yes, okay, you're like Alice in Wonderland this shit up. Like I think if they would have just gone like creepy or normaler with these things, I would have been like, oh right, it's a movie. But because you've tweaked the candy setting and like you've upped the colors to 1,000, you've almost made it so I'm like, I don't know if this is a real movie anymore.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Like the tonality changes. So you have this beginning part where he's giving a speech where it's like, okay, it's a movie. Then there's these weird set pieces where I'm like, okay, it's like Willy Wonka. Then like it just gets to be like this super over the top color, where almost like how The Hobbit, where you're like it's too fucking colorful. Like what
There's
the
too
fuck
many
did you
colors
do?
in this motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know. And like again, these two main characters who I don't even know their names. They
Yeah,
don't
this,
seem likable enough for me to be leading
This trailer is
kids.
really not focused on them. They do some like face acting, right? But I don't even think they have lines, which is like a mistake. I feel
They have
like.
one or two lines, but yeah, mainly they're focusing on these three famous ladies.
Yeah, and it's a voiceover, and it's like
And
a
a
lot
now
of
like
faces and stuff like that.
shockingly skinny Zach Galifianakis. He looks like sick almost.
Well, he's sick.
I don't know. Just
Sick as
again,
fuck.
this trailer's not like super detailed into what's happening. It's
Yeah.
vague. It's a teasery
Call
thing.
it a teaser.
But I don't know. I'm not sucked into it.
I'm into it. I like it. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I presume you're gonna give it a thumbs down. I like this weirdness, and I like the candy. It's like a Fifth Element-y candy. I'm okay with candy.
No, and it's creepy. Like this whole all bouncing the balls at the same time in this fucking
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands town.
Hmm.
I like that kind of stuff. On paper, again, all of this should be a thumbs up. But what they've displayed for me on the page here, I'm like,
No, I definitely have major concerns about the actual movie, and I do anticipate just hearing about, oh, yeah, that bombed, or that didn't do a thing, or, oh, Disney strikes out again. They really have to, their other stuff's doing really well. Their, like, universe stuff, and now their other, old-school Disney creative shit, those IPs aren't doing well. I guess we're not going to see the other whatever fucking
who do you
thing
think this
in
is
that movie.
aimed at?
That was my
And
thing.
that's the biggest issue here.
I never saw Tomorrowland, so maybe I would actually love it. But that, you know, that was the main complaint about, and like I'm lumping all this together, right? Because you have like Disney now owns, you know, Star Wars and Marvel, right?
Yeah.
So like Disney's busy. They're like printing money off somewhere else. Then they have all these other IPs, all their old school, like, you know, Lion King, Little Mermaid or whatever the fuck. But then they have shit like this. They have shit like Tomorrowland and Tron and shit, where they keep trying to make movies of their like originals or like their other shit, like the non-connected universe shit, and they keep like failing, like not doing well, and then trying different shit and being like, well, let's dust off this one. Maybe this one will be a good movie or whatever the fuck. And I feel like that this is another one of those, and I feel like the narrative's gonna write itself that like they keep trying and keep fucking up or something like that.
When you look at the makeup and all the crap shit here, it looks like you're aiming towards children, like 'cause it's so colorful and over the top. But then all the elements of it, at least in this trailer, seem above a child's head, almost to be like I don't think you would enjoy this. You might even be scared by this.
No, like well, who knows? I was a weird kid, but like there's ways to do stuff that's not for kids, where it's like, oh well, you're just not talking down to your audience. Then there's stuff where it's like, I don't know if you'll appreciate this in like the proper
that's
way.
what I mean.
And I think what I was gonna say with that other thing was that I think after Tomorrowland, people had a similar reaction of like, this is sort of geared towards kids because it has this and this, and then it's sort of not because of this and that. Like, who is this for, sort of thing. And I definitely could see this getting lumped into the same category.
Because I think about the things that like I saw as a kid, they even were directed towards adults, but had things where I would latch onto as a kid, go like, oh, that's so cool, and like I'm decent at staying in that mindset for things, and like of this trailer, I'm like, nothing like jumped like I'm like, oh man, I would love to see that lady in that makeup,
lady in the dress, I think this hints at more than displays what might be cool if it is there or not or whatever. But part of my decision to thumbs it up is the soundtrack, is the Sweet Dreams shit.
Thumbs down.
I like a nice song and a thing. It tied it up. It pushed it over the edge.
No.
I would have been neutral, I think, without that.
I think Marilyn Manson could have pulled it out for me.
We should take this. We should take this trailer and then take the Marilyn Manson Sweet Dreams and cut it together to it.
All right, guys. So that's our thoughts on Wrinkle in Time, and let us know in the comments below what you think. Until next time, don't die in a fire.